The Charlotte Hornets are on fire. Let me tell you something. Since January 1st, the Charlotte Hornets might be the best team in the NBA. No exaggeration. No exaggeration. Because in 2026, the Charlotte Hornets are first in offensive rating. They're fourth in defensive rating. They're first in net rating. And they have the third best record in the NBA. They are 14-6 in 2026. This team is on fire. No doubt about it. They are absolutely cooking. And you want to know another statistic? Here we go. They are 15-1 when they start LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, Miles Bridges, and Musa Diabate. 15-1 over the last 40 days, because I think we're like 40 days into 2026. Over the last 40 days, the Charlotte Hornets have been one of the best teams in the NBA. They have been one of the best teams in the NBA. They are now a play-in team. They are the 10 seed, and with the way they've been playing basketball, I honestly think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs for the first time. So how long has it been since they last made the playoffs? 2014? First time in 12 years? I could be wrong about that. Maybe they made more recently than 2014, but one way or another, it's been a very, very long time since the Hornets were in the playoffs. And I think they're going to do it. I think this year, Charlotte is going to make the playoffs. Another statistic about the Charlotte Hornets is prior to 2026, they had never had an 8-game win streak in the 21st century. And right now, they are on a 9-game win streak. Now, they play the Detroit Pistons tonight. So maybe they'll lose. But it's not a foregone conclusion because in 2026, the Charlotte Hornets have blown out the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have beat the San Antonio Spurs. They've beat the Denver Nuggets. They beat the Houston Rockets. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. All these teams that are contending for titles, the Charlotte Hornets beat them. All of them. In just the last 40 days. And I'm going to reiterate that again. The Charlotte Hornets blew out the Oklahoma City Thunder. Beat them by like 30. Now, why is this? Why are the Hornets playing fantastic? Well, there's a few reasons. Number one, they're healthy. They're healthy. The Charlotte Hornets are a very talented team. And they're healthy. LaMelo Ball, he's been pretty healthy this season. Brandon Miller, he's been pretty healthy this season. And I can't say the same for last year. Wasn't Brandon Miller? Brandon Miller, wasn't he out for most of the season last year? LaMelo Ball, he's been, injury prone for a good deal of his career, I'm pretty sure. But they've been healthy. The Charlotte Hornets' two best players have been healthy, and they have been playing fantastic basketball. And, whenever you listen to the Hornets commentary, or at least when I've been watching their games as of late, they really talk about how Charles Lee and the coaching staff have been trying to get the most out of LaMelo Ball in the minutes that he plays, but they don't want to overextend him because they're trying to keep him healthy. In fact, they've even had LaMelo Ball come off the bench a few times this season. They've had him come off the bench with, managing his minutes, making sure he stays healthy, and it's been very effective. It's been very effective because the Hornets are playing fantastic basketball, and LaMelo Ball has been healthy, and Brandon Miller's been healthy. Another reason why this team has been on fire, Con Knipple. He has a case for the Rookie of the Year. He really does. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed if they went and gave Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple the Rookie of the Year. Co-Rookie of the Years. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Con Knipple certainly, he has a case for the Rookie of the Year. And over the 9-game win streak that they've had, over the 9-game win streak that they're currently on, I should say, LaMelo Ball is averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. He's shooting 40% from the field, 39 from 3, 88 from the free throw line. Brandon Miller, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 45% from the field, 37 from 3, 100% from the free throw line. I think he's made over 40 free throws in a row right now. Con Knipple, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's shooting pretty good. 49% from the field, 42 from 3, 100% from the free throw line. So, as you can see, those are all some pretty good stat lines. But no one over this 9-game win streak is just having game after game after game after game after game of just putting the team on their back. They are getting it done as a team. Now some guys may go out and have incredible games, like Moussa Diabate had a game, 18 points, 19 rebounds. I forget who it was against, but it was an incredible game. But Moussa Diabate isn't doing that every night. He's playing great every night, though. Colin Knippel had 33 points against the Dallas Mavericks. He's not doing that every night. But, individual players are having some fantastic nights, but as a team, they're all just playing great. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Colin Knippel, Miles Bridges, Moussa Diabate. They're doing it as a team. And let's not forget about the bench guys. Josh Green has stood out to me as someone who's making a lot of hustle plays, playing good on defense. He's knocking down threes, at least what I've seen of him do. Ryan Kolkbrenner, second-round pick in the draft last year for the Charlotte Hornets. In his minutes, he's been playing great. Ryan Kolkbrenner has been very good for the Charlotte Hornets this year. And they had Colin Sexton. He was playing all right, but they just traded him to the Chicago Bulls for Kobe White, who, in my opinion, is an upgrade for the Charlotte Hornets. So, and they've got some other solid players like, is Sion James his name? I'm not too familiar with him, but he's been, decent in some of the games I've seen of him. But as you can see, they are doing it as a basketball team. And not that I want to bring up the Lakers whenever I talk about basketball, but when I watch the Lakers, I just don't see that. I don't see them playing as a team. I see a lot of individual players individually playing great. I don't see a lot of great team basketball in LA. In Charlotte, it's the exact opposite. And, that's maybe why a few weeks ago, the Charlotte Hornets scored over 130 points on the Los Angeles Lakers and beat them. But the Hornets are doing something special right now. They really are. They're playing fantastic. And, they were like the 12 seed a few weeks ago. And, maybe when you're in that position, you just want to keep on tanking. You just want to keep on tanking, and you want to get a lottery pick. Maybe you get a top 3 pick. You can get one of the, very notable names in the draft this year, in the draft class this year. But the Charlotte Hornets aren't doing that. Charlotte Hornets are winning basketball games. All right, they're not trying to tank. It seems like that very well have their sights set on becoming a playoff team. And when you look at the teams that are currently in the plan, now I guess there is a scenario where the Hornets they could just straight up not even be in the plan. They could be the 6th seed, but I think, I don't know, that seems like maybe a little too optimistic, despite how fantastic this team's been playing. Maybe that's a little too optimistic. I certainly think they'll make the playoffs, though. I think they'll be a play-in team, and when you look at the other play-in teams, the Atlanta Hawks, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, none of those teams are playing better than the Charlotte Hornets right now. And I don't think any of those teams are going to play better than the Charlotte Hornets for the rest of the season. So I really think Charlotte could end up as the 8th, probably the 7th seed. And then they'd play, I don't know, the Celtics or the Knicks in the first round. And that they might not win. They probably won't win a playoff series. But they will be a really tough opponent for whoever does play them. All right, so, Charlotte's just playing great. You know what? I want to take that back. They could win a playoff series. They really could. They could, because the Eastern Conference is always, it's so interesting to me, because in the West, you always got, your 2 or 3 teams you think could win it all. In the East, especially this year, people look at the East and they say it's weak. Maybe it is, but I always find the East so interesting. Because the top 4 or 5 teams I really could see making a playoff run or a finals run. And when I look at the Charlotte Hornets, I look at the 4 teams in front of them, 3 or 4 teams in front of them. I'm thinking, wow, they could really have a better record than all those teams by the end of the year. And then when I look at who they could play in the playoffs, who they could possibly match up with, I think they could maybe steal a series, you know? I think this Charlotte Hornets could upset a team in the playoffs, but, you know, Hornets are playing great.